Rising mortgage rates have complicated the housing markets for first-time home buyers, among others. The challenge is raising questions over the cost and benefits of a 40-year mortgage. That's right, 40. For more on this, let's bring in Yahoo Finance's Ronda Lee. Ronda, this is an innovation that exists already in the United Kingdom.
Yes.
Here in the United States, not as common of a thing. Tell us a little bit more about why, in this environment, it's kind of part of the conversation.
So here in the U.S., 40-year loan modifications have been used for loss mitigation. So we've seen it back during the housing crisis in 2008 for people to keep them in their homes. That's what they did. The servicers was like, okay, let's reconfigure your loan to 40 years so you don't have to leave the house. That's something that was also offered to homeowners due to COVID-19 that had FHA loans. So FHA is considering extending this program. And then someone came up with the idea of like, we have a housing affordability problem. How about a 40-year mortgage?
So I guess the natural question, though, is, is this really a solution? Because you're just extending the amount of time that you're paying these interest rates back. And especially now, those rates are going to be higher. So first of all, is this a fixed product? Is this an adjustable product? And secondly, does this actually have the impact of making it more affordable if you're just dragging out the payments over time?
Well, it's kind of like the same thing of people who have 84-month payments on a car note. It gets you in, you get the car. And so you're in the house. The problem is that if you're trying to build equity, if the whole purpose of home ownership is to build wealth and to pass that down, your equity is going to be taking longer to build it.
Right.
So that's the bigger problem. The other problem is if you give this person a 40-year mortgage and they have a financial hardship later down the line, what options do you have for them?
Right. Well, I was going to say, because the longer duration also means that there's perhaps higher credit risk that's associated with that. So is there any data about the default rate among these types of products that we've seen from the UK and how viable that would be in this particular housing market?
No data, which is why. So right now, the FHA is looking for comments for extending the loan modification program beyond COVID-19. So that's where the real estate industry is like, well, we had this housing thing. What about 40-year? So right now, people are, the big thing is, yes, it will help you get in. Like, you can get 84 months on a car. It'll get in, but you're going to be paying $800 on a Kia.
Yeah.
And it's that thing. And so by the time you've paid it off, there's little value left. But a home is different than a car. But it's that thing. If you want the equity, that's where the tough problem is. Where do they have the equity?
And especially, do you find that this would even be attractive in this environment? Because what we're seeing is that mortgage rates are going up, but because of the supply of homes and the demand still remaining robust, people are still paying out the wazoo for, a starter home, even autos. People are paying a lot for a Kia right now.
However, rents have gone up exponentially, and they will continue to go up. So at least if I have a home that I'm gaining, even if the equity is low, a little bit slower, guess what? My mortgage rate, my monthly mortgage payment is going to stay the same. My rent can go up 40% if I'm in New York.
Yeah.
So I would, even though I know the downside, because my biggest concern right now is my rent is going to be renewed and I'm going to have another 40% increase in rent, monthly mortgage payment, I'm going to go with the mortgage payment.
Yeah, kind of balancing out things there. Yeah, well, especially in New York, where everyone...
And even around the world.
Yeah.
Around the U.S.
All right, Ronda Lee, Yahoo Finance. Thanks so much for the breakdown. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, switch.